Inakuwaje watu wangu wa nguvu, mimi naitwa presenter Ali, you are entertainment, PA the A is always for amazing. Leo tupo maeneo ya Kempinski na ni kwa ajili ya shughuli moja, ni album launch ama uzinduzi wa album ya Daddy Owen. Of course unamuona amekuja, ametulia sana. Good to see you bro.
Manze nashukuru sana manze. Thank you very much. Nimefika hapa nikasema lazima nikuje nisalimie mabrother zangu, masista zangu wasema kuja kunisupport. First and foremost I want to thank the media wamekuja kunisupport. It's a huge thing by the for you guys being here. I have like 5-10 minutes before I go on stage. So nimesema ni poa nifanye saa hii before niingie pale nifanye red carpet, mget mapicha kama ni kila kitu before I go on stage.
I just want to know, mbona ukachagua kama muda huu uwe muda mwafaka wako wewe kuachia hii album?
Kwangu cha maana nilikuwa na mikakati kuachilia album next year, but nikasema because next year na celebrate 20 years in the music industry, the best time to release the album ni now. So by the time nafanya celebration ya 20 years in the music industry, my album already itakuwa out there, so itakuwa already na make more news than tuinge 20 years ndio nianze kufanya new album. So next year niko na a very big concert by the hii leo ni kionjo. So next year I'm doing a very big concert on the January 29th. It's my birthday. So January 29th I've already booked that I'm doing a very big show celebrating 20 years in the music ministry.
I just want to know, album yenyewe pengine ina ngoma ngapi?
Album ina 15. 15 new music.
Miongoni mwa producers ambao wamekuwa kwenye uandalizi wa hii album ni kama nani na nani?
Of course tuko na Ogopa pale ndani, of course tuko na Msioka pale ndani, of course tuko na Enga pale ndani, of course tuko na Motif pale ndani, of course tuko na Mike Rule, of course tuko na Ihaji Merit. So say what by the part of this album, and then apart from that tuko na one song tumefanya na international producer from Ghana, South Africa and America, the USA. So for different quality. Na leo naachilia video that nilishoot in South Africa. We're releasing the video today, a song called Higher Higher. Very nice video.
Pia nataka kujua, ukiangalia muda mwingi wasanii wengi, last time tuliona Bahati alifocus sana na producer mmoja, afu tracks 2 ama 3 zikafanywa na producers wengine. Lakini wewe umeamua kila track kama producer tofauti hivi. Why?
Nilikuwa nataka album yangu iko in a very different feel, because sometimes if you work with only one producer anaweza kupatia one genre of music, but the best thing kufanya na different producers wanakupatia different levels, and then pia a producer is someone who can stretch you akufikisha level yenye maybe haungeifika. So because sometimes kuna producer mwenye hizi kustretch, lakini kuna mwingine anakuambia hapana, you can hit this note, change this note, change this tune and change this sound. And then pia maproducer wa young kuna wale wanakupatia a new vibe. Sisi ni wa Kongo tumekaa hapa for a very long time, so unatafuta a new vibe that can relate even to the younger generation. So you have to mix wala tumezoea comfortable nao kama Ogopa nimewaka naye for so many years, nimewaka na Msioka for so many years, but Enga ni mtu hii generation, Motif ni mtu hii generation, Mike Rule ni hii generation, Ihaji wote walikuwa wanipatia challenge to make sure that I do different vibe of music.
Okay, which song right now stands out as ngoma ambayo ni favorite kwako kwenye album?
Zangu ni mingi. Okay.
Oye. Jackie. Go on.
Okay. The favorite song.
Yeah.
Manze unajua msanii anaanga favorite song. Msanii hujua all the songs amefanya ni favorite, because by the time unamaza kurekodi hivi unajua ukiitoa inakuwa very good song, because even in Kapungala, in my album Kapungala, the song nilikuwa na expect kwa the good song haikuwa. In my album Vanity, the song nilikuwa na expect haikuwa, but for me this album I think is a very different dimension to make sure that tumesikia story mingi about gospel music, about the gospel, what wanaita gospel industry, the gospel ministry. Tumesikia story mingi about it, but for me this one is just to confirm that I'm still a gospel musician, I'm still doing gospel music, I'm not going to change, and I stand for the gospel ministry.
Yeah, still on that. Yeah, Mr. Seed, wasi wengi walisema that Mr. Seed ndo amebaki kwa gospel industry peke yake. What's your take on that?
No, unajua gospel is a very open. Ulipi kuingia. Anyone can do gospel music, you understand? But what matters is for how long can you sustain? For me, this is my 19th year. So it means next year I'll be celebrating 20 years. It's not easy for someone to do gospel music for 19 years without facing any challenge to be tempted that one day you need to do a secular song. Yeah. But for me, I've never done a secular song. Okay. I've always stuck to doing gospel music, purely gospel music.
We understand the 6th album. I think it's a biggest mileage. There are so many people who haven't even done one album, but it's your 6th album. What have you done different comparing with the previous albums that you've had?
Yeah, my first album nilikuwa more of an upcoming artist. My second album ilikuwa na try kuwa establish and all that. My third album did so well because ilikuwa penetrate to the mainstream media and fans and all of that. That was Kapungala. But this one is different because I've challenged myself even to do a different type of music. I've never done Afrobeat, but this one is a challenge kufanya Afrobeat because the young producers wanakwambia right now there's what we call trendy, but what matters the most is the word or the contents will not change. But the beats, the style and everything, you must get young, funky producers who can challenge you to do something different.
Yeah. What is so special about this season ambayo inafanya wasanii wengi tu waachie albums?
I think my analysis is this. Because last year everyone was confined in one place due to COVID. Msanii anahitaji such moments for creativity. So I think most of the artists at that time wali enter into a vacuum of creativity. Na wakiingia hiyo moment ya creativity iliwasaidia kufika a level whereby in the long run right now we are seeing they were sowing last year. Right now tumeanza kuona the products from what guys walikuwa wanaandika last year, because last year most of us were confined in one place. So the only thing as a musician, me apart from being a musician, I paint. I used to paint a lot and write music a lot. So right now tumeanza kuona the product to it, because sometimes you find you're so busy you can't even go back to studio to write music when we have events like this year. Next year itakuwa very hard kusikia so many albums because sasa hivi watu wanaanza kuwa busy. That's why unasikia watu wanasemanga wasanii wanasemanga toa album alafu atoi, because album needs concentration. Album needs you take time. Album needs, because for me I record more than 25 songs. Out of 25 songs I had to chop them to 15. So you see it takes a lot of time to feel like I'm confident with what I'm doing. And then there are some songs I've done with guys from Tanzania and all that. You have to send the song, they listen, they agree, you sign contracts. So it's a stretchy moment. It's a very stretchy moment.
Kwa hiyo kama wewe hii album imekuchukua muda huu?
I can say there are some songs nilifanya kitambo kiasi and then kuna hizi nimefanya mpya. So more than 10 songs nimefanya, more than 15 songs nimefanya during this time, but out of the 15 songs nimechagua only 10 to compile with the others to make it 15. So I can say the beginning of this year or late last year when I was going through something, that's when I decided to do this album.
Yeah. Na ukimya wako mainly inaonekana, is it because you decided to get into a creative mode, or is it because you were going through that thing?
No, for me it was more of the circumstances around me. I can say mine, it was more about circumstances around me, because everyone lazima wanasemanga choices have. For me, I can say, siwezi blame anyone, I can just say it was more of my choices.
What is the status quo right now? Are you seeing someone?
Si naona nyinyi wote hapa. Hawa ndio hizi mind naona kila mtu hapa.
Yaani kimapenzi pengine.
Kimapenzi vipi? No.
Shemeji tunaye.
Shemeji online?
Nataka kumuona ama kumsikia kama yupo.
For the moment by there right now, niko naishi peke yangu. That's all I can say.
Alafu a while back tulikujaga hapa kwa ajili ya kumzindua msanii wako, if you can remember. Nataka kujua hali ilifikia wapi, bado umemsign?
Judy Stevens. Yeah. Yako hapa. Somewhere nimemwona kwa red carpet mahali hapa. Tunatoa ngoma na yeye, but the video that we've done tulienda kushoot South Africa with Godfather. Hiyo ndio video tuna release leo.
Pia nataka kujua do you talk to your ex?
Yeah, hapo ni no comment bro. Ask. Yes.
I would like to know your relationship between you and him.
DJMO is like my brother because Saizet was my dancer. Saizet was my dancer. Saizet was my dancer. Savara was my dancer. Alice Kamanda was my dancer. So many people they were my dancers before they broke through to become musicians. So me and Saizet tulikuwa kama brother and sister. But time DJMO alikuja kwa picture, tulikuwa tushakuwa so tight. And then DJMO pia nilimit. But time tulikuwa na studio Buruburu. And DJMO alikuwa amekuja kurekodi. He used to be in a group. Ilikuwa to Adusheta. Alikuwa na kwa musician usimuone hivi. And then akatana akakuwa DJ. So our relationship goes beyond just arts, music and all that. Yeah. So me and DJMO ni kama brothers and sisters.
There are also very many a few kids on the block, new kids on the block in the gospel industry. Which ones do you recognize right now?
No, there are so many, because unajua at the end of the day finding unajua sai shida yenye iko ni wengi wanaanza vizuri and then eventually unasikia mtu amechange, amekuwa a secular artist. So for me, it's really hard to define what is gospel, who is a gospel artist, and who is not a gospel artist.